Stay tuned in the episode to hear Brandon share his favorite recipe for bangers and mash. Hey, welcome to episode 16 of Binge Moto. This week, we're joined once again by Action Motorcycles' Brandon Butts, fresh off a trip across the pond to London, where he attended a British Superbike race, met Charlie Borman, and spent quite a bit more time filming upcoming content at the bike shed. We're also going to recap some of our personal highlights from EICMA, the annual motorcycle industry convention in Milan. We'll also hear about Brandon's new toy. That sounds ominous. And give you some close recommendations at the end. Hey, Brandon, how's it going?
Hey, buddy. It's great to see you again.
And by toy, I mean your new camera.
Yeah, I was actually racking my brain there for a second. We got there.
Yeah. No, you had mentioned that last week, and I put it in the notes, so I wouldn't forget. So.
Yeah, for sure. Good deal, man. It's good to see you. How's life?
Good to see you too. Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, been all over the place.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll get to like more into the details later. But how was London?
It was great. I got lucky with pretty decent weather for the time that I was there. The Superbike race was a little bit wet, but to be honest with you, I mean, I kind of feel like I got the BSB experience. Like that's kind of
right.
kind of part of it. I do have to say, watching everybody go out there and just absolutely rip it, and half of them crashed because it was wet, but they just tried anyway because that's the way it is, was really, really impressive. I mean, it was really impressive.
I'm always blown away when I see those videos of the guys racing in the rain. Like,
yeah.
It
was cool though. I did get to see. Timing was a little bit off, but because I had to take a couple different trains to get out to Brands Hatch, but I did get to see a little bit of the sidecar race, which is super awesome. That was super fun. I'd never seen that before. So
yeah, I was telling you about that because you had that at Barber when I was there.
Yeah, that was super cool.
Those were like old vintage bikes too, so that was even crazier. Yeah, we got to walk around the pits and check those bikes out up close, and yeah, it's pretty bananas, really. It's there's not much to those. It's basically like a piece of fiberglass or wood or whatever with a little bubble on the front, and that's it, and a handle.
That's
one
right.
wheel. Yeah.
Pray to Jesus handle.
Yeah, pray for Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, I got lucky. I got to go in the pits also, in the paddocks. So that was really, really cool. I actually got to meet some of the folks from the Raceways Yamaha team, and their racer Bradley Ray came in second in the championship at Branson. So it was awesome, man. It was a once in a lifetime experience. It was absolutely a blast.
So where does like British Superbike rank, like in the hierarchy of like motor racing around? I don't know a lot about racing, and actually when I was talking to my cousin Brandon, not to get confusing here, and he was like, "Oh, he went to BSB," and I was like, "I don't know what that is." Then I thought about it for like 3. I was like, "Oh, British Superbike. Okay, yeah, I know what it is." Yeah.
Yeah. Not on top of that, it's sponsored by the big major motorcycle insurance company Bennett's. So it's Bennett's BSB.
Bennett's BSB.
Bennett's BSB at Brands Hatch, actually.
So where does that rank as far as like where do they get their racers more like European, like British old school guys, or
it's certainly a lot more Brits than anything else that I came across. Admittedly, I mean, back when I was in college, I watched a lot more racing, and obviously, having plugged into Bradley Ray, I'm going to be a fan from now on. So I'm certainly going to be watching more. And obviously, there's Ducatis there as well. So I was certainly happy to see them and cheer them on too. But honestly, with the attendance and the people, it felt a lot like a Moto America or an AMA race.
right?
A little bit less fighter jets and hot dogs, and a little bit more, a little bit more, meat pies and rain, but it was very, very, very comparable to an AMA race in my like at Barber or wherever else.
How many events do they have usually? Like, I know.
I don't know the total number off the top of my head, but it's not a small amount. I mean, it's a whole season worth of racing.
Right. So it's comparable to like the American circuit or
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't think they race as much as like MotoGP or anything like that, um, but yeah,
Are they racing the
I mean,
same
it's
bike?
super fun.
Are they racing the same bikes as MotoGP or?
No. Well, I mean, they're all. I mean, no, they're not racing MotoGP bikes. You know, you know, the super bikes are heavily modified, but you know, you've got just like an AMA, you've got super stock and super sport that have different levels of, you know,
Okay,
bikes that you know, race on Sunday, buy on Monday, or you know, win on Sunday, buy on Monday kind of thing. And then the super bikes are, you know, a little bit more out of that league. But nothing like MotoGP dollars.
right, right. Okay, so it's not like full like built from the ground up race bikes. They're like you said, they're more like super hooligan kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Yeah, super fun, but it's super fun. I mean, everybody was in really good spirits. I got to say, one of the most fun parts about it was, you know, because you know, going to the bike shed. Everybody, you know, when you're at the bike shed, everybody wants to talk about bikes. When you're at the bike shed because you're at the bike shed. But at BSB, like, I mean, it's so great because you know when you're traveling in another country, sometimes you wonder, you know, are you going to be able to interact with people? Are you going to be able to connect with anybody on any sort of level other than polite conversation? But you're all there for a reason, you know, and you're all,
Totally.
you know, when you're going to that. So that was super fun. That was super fun. I remember back 15 years ago, I got a chance to go to a Tokyo Giants baseball game in Tokyo, and it was like same kind of thing where, you know, okay, you know, I don't know any of the players. I don't know what's going on with the season, but we all love the sport and we all got, you know, we're all there for the same reason. We all enjoyed it. So that was super fun.
Yeah, sports you get that common ground. So
Yeah.
basically the same rules or whatever. So it doesn't. You don't have to be able to speak the language. You can tell balls and strikes and all that. So
I will
yes,
say they, I feel like a lot of the fans really knew that. I mean, I mean, the track's historic, of course, but like they knew the names of all the corners and like they wouldn't talk about like turn four. They would say whatever the turn's name was, which
right.
was wild to me, but cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess all the tracks kind of do that, right? They name their corners.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just, and maybe it's me being an American and there being less enthusiasm for motorcycle racing here than there is over there, you know, or whatever. But it was cool.
Right. So speaking of Europe, they have the annual, I guess, industry debut for a lot of the models for the upcoming year, like next year's 2026 at EICMA. It's in Milan, Italy. Which I tried to look up what EICMA stood for because I was like, it's obviously an acronym, but it was like it was in Italian, so it didn't really make. And then there was like an American translation of it, and I was still kind of like, well, we'll just call it EICMA. I don't need to know what it
Yeah.
means.
Just the, whoever runs the channel for, or not the channel, but whoever runs the account for V1 Moto, my local Ducati dealer
Yeah,
here in Houston, they had people that were there, obviously, and I was just like, oh, I was just green with envy watching all the stuff come out this week. Super cool, super duper cool.
yeah, because there's always a couple of different events. I guess the one they usually have in Vegas this year, they're moving it to Anaheim or whatever.
Yeah,
Um, my friend John wanted to go to it, but it just didn't line up for the right time. But a couple of bikes that caught my eye. Honda, they've got that new Fireblade Hornet, whatever they're calling it, the 1000 engine, and they put it in a sport touring bike, and they're calling it CB 1000 GT, which I'm a big
transfer.
fan. I love my Tracer when I had it. Other than like I said, about played about a million times a seat or whatever, um, but the Honda CB 1000 GT, it looks very similar. Only, the Tracer was a blast to ride. It made 119 horsepower or whatever. This bike makes 150 horsepower and 102 newton meters of torque, which is more on line with the BMW S1000 XR. I mean,
Yeah.
it's right there with that. Which that bike was a scream. Had a lot of fun on that. Although that seat also sucked. So hopefully Honda came up with a better, more comfortable. You're making a touring bike. Why not put a touring seat on it?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's fun. It's fun. You know, it's so funny. You know, I've got, you know, I guess I'm bent a little bit more towards the adventure style. than the sport touring. I know my dad used to have a Yamaha FJR 1300,
Right.
and that, I mean, that was, it's the hard bags, but could still, pull or whatever, And of course now he's got that multi, and I
Right.
mean, you got the Tiger.
Yeah, but I've got
Um,
bias one. I got the GT, so
yeah. And
you get a
that's
Raleigh with the bigger wheel and all that. Yeah.
so. I mean, did you when you bought that Tiger, was that a consideration at all, or were you? I mean, you're much more of a road rider, I guess.
I am, and I mean, I am kind of happy that I have the Tiger that could do some light off roading, and I've gotten the opportunity to take it on a
Yeah, you've
couple
done good.
of trails and stuff, and it's been fun. But I haven't really done it a lot. I mean, I've done it like 3 times since I've had it. And then of course I bought the Indian, so now it's been like 50-50 with the bike. So I, had less time to ride it, especially with the wife going out. So it's kind of hard to say, "Oh, let's go ride some trails, honey." But
Yeah, no, thank you. I've seen people ride with pillions on dirt, and it's just no, thank you. It's too stressful for me already.
so right after I bought it, that's when Triumph debuted their Tiger 800 GT, which is like more like a tracer. It comes with hard bags. It's got the smaller front wheel. It's got actually makes, even though it's technically smaller, it makes more horsepower than my Tiger. And I went and test rode one, and it was a blast. I mean, I might have bought that had it been out and it was a lot cheaper too, which is kind of mind
Oh yeah,
blowing. Because it doesn't have like the big fancy dash and all that. But honestly, the dash in the Tiger sucks as far as like whoever designed the electronics in it. They
yeah.
must have been, I don't know, they must hit their head or something, because there's all kinds of crazy. You can't even see like the miles on the bike without going through like 20 button presses. Like the odometer's not there. Like all kinds of weird stuff just is hard to find. And there's no way to reprogram it. So, but anyway, yeah, if the Tiger 800 had been out, I actually probably would have bought that versus getting the 900 GT. But anyway, now Triumph has come out with so they have that Triumph Trident 660, which is like the little kind of retro cruiser, round headlight front. It's a fun
Yes.
bike. It makes like 80 horsepower. I took it out. It was it's a lot of fun to ride, but wasn't really in that like heavier middle class where you get like the XSR 900 from Yamaha or
Yeah,
any of
yeah,
those bikes. But so now they've come out with the Triumph. I can't speak today. The Triumph Trident 800, which makes it's the same
yeah.
engine you got in that Tiger. It's just not in the sport touring looking bike now. It's back in the cruiser. So and it's also under $10,000, like nine
That's
thousand.
pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. It's I can't wait till they get one in. So I'll go down to Tampa, try and give it a spin. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to trade my bike in or whatever, because it's not really my kind of bike.
You
Because
say that now.
yeah, I say that now, right? And maybe he'll make me a good deal or something. But
Well, you've got the big touring bike now. So if anything, you gotta, if you were ever going to change, it'd be swapping the Tiger for something. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I gotta be careful. Talking about trading out bikes. We could take a hard left turn and talk about that for an hour. So probably don't want to do that.
right, no, no, actually, I've been trying. My friend John and I have been trying to get the Under Tampa Triumph to do a special with us to sell us those 400X, the Scrambler.
Yeah.
Like, I would just get that as a third bike, though. I wouldn't trade it in the other two, but because they're so cheap, and so. But anyway, we're not going down that route tonight. But yeah, the new Trident also has like better suspension, better electronics. It's got the 6-axis IMU, lean angle, adaptive, yada yada. It's got cruise control and all that stuff. And it's only $1,500 more than a 660, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I mean,
That's it. That seems like, why would you, unless you
well, they
really
do
love
that.
a small bike or something.
They do that all the time because they have the Bonneville T100, and then they have the Bonneville T120, and it's
Right.
like a $2,000, $1,500 difference, and then you get
Yeah.
you know 20, 30 more horsepower and cruise control and all that stuff. I guess, well, for Europe, that's why. Honestly, I just answered my own question.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the
I
tier
just, I
one.
just, I just remembered the other thing I wanted to mention about EICMA, so we can
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, so I also saw. So speaking of British bikes and adventure bikes, I also saw that Norton
Norton, yeah.
has now chimed into the adventure bike market with the Atlas. So
Is
I
that,
think that's
is that on a 450?
no. That's no. It's way bigger.
Okay.
It's way bigger, and we're going to talk about the 450s here because that's the trend. That's the trend from the show, right? Is
Yeah,
the four? But no, I just thought it was interesting that I just remembered that Norton has now kind of entered the bigger the bigger adventure market with that Atlas. It's got the hard bags and all that kind of stuff. They got one that's more street biased and one with the big wheel also.
right. Yeah, because I could have sworn when I was looking through that maybe they had a smaller one as well, but
Maybe so. Maybe so.
maybe
Yeah,
so.
I could have easily missed that. But yeah,
Yeah,
450s are kind of the trend, huh?
yeah, it's weird because obviously, you've got the Himalayan, but then they kind of bumped it up and made it 450. And then CFMOTO put out their Ibex 450, and then BMW just popped up with their new 450 GS F450 GS. Although I'm sure that's probably got a little more premium price on it than the other two, but
Well, I think I think it's an interesting thing, and certainly with American riders, there's always the kind of bigger is better, and there's a little bit of ego involved in buying a bike like I bought. I have to take some admission there. It's a little bit of ego with the Desert X, but um, it's the big bikes are heavy, man. And if
yeah,
you're gonna be, if you're gonna be pushing it and tipping it over or sliding it in the sand, you're gonna be going down. And having a lighter bike that's capable, capable of getting to the dirt without falling apart. And that's the big drawback of the Hemi 411, the Himalayan that I've got, is that it tops out at 70, and it'll do it. It'll go on the highway and it'll get me the 12 miles that I need to ride to get to the dirt.
right,
And then I don't care anymore. But you don't want to take that across the country. And if you've got people that are, you know, I don't necessarily want to ride, a CRF 300, high suspension, Honda, dual sport. But I don't necessarily need a 900 cc engine on the dirt either. So
right,
that 450 range doesn't seem bad to me. I think the Himalayan knocked it out of the park, but I rode one. I rode one in Scotland, and
right,
it certainly had a heck of a lot more pep than the 411. Um, and if I had a choice between the two, I didn't own either one, um, how do you not choose that 450 engine?
right. And then it's a 400, but Triumph has the two 400s they put out last year that
Yeah.
are pretty successful, and I test rode that 400X scrambler, and it yeah, it'll do 70, 80 miles an hour. Like I don't know how long it'll do it, but when I was on my test ride, I got it up to there. And I was on city streets, so it really was nowhere for me to, like, I wasn't on a highway or anything. But yeah, that bike is super light. It's actually very tall, which is kind of surprising.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, yeah, it's actually taller than their 900 scrambler, but I guess maybe because it's got more suspension travel or whatever. Um, but
Yeah. That other. It's funny, that other bike that I rode in Scotland, the Bear 650, which is kind of sold as a scrambler. Um,
it looks more like a Bonneville or something though.
well, I mean, it's a twin. It's a twin, and it's just a little. It just felt a little heavy. I mean, the one that I had on the road, it felt like it rode on rails after riding the Himalayan.
Right.
When you're just ripping it on the street, that big front wheel doesn't do you any favors. But um,
What's the seat height on that? Was it low or higher?
it was totally tall. For me, a 411 man, or a 411. Think about the Himalayan 411. For me, a 5.8, with a 30-inch inseam. The problem that I had with the Bear was that it was just so damn wide. The seat
Oh,
was wide. It was comfortable, but I'm sitting there going, I'm on a 650 and I'm having to tippy toe around because I can't flat foot
oh,
this thing.
yeah, that's what I was getting at because I have a friend. I've mentioned her before, Jennifer Ringelsbaugh, and her husband Butch. she was out riding around last week, and she's got a Triumph, I think a Speed Twin 900, and she dropped it because it's fairly heavy, and also it's just too tall for her, because she's obviously quite a bit shorter than you even. So I was just looking for another bike because she was
No, surely not. How could anybody be shorter than me?
well, but she was mentioning Royal Enfield as possibilities for the new bike.
Hey
Yeah,
man, the Himalayan with it's like a 30 or 31-inch seat. Like that Hemi is killer as
yeah.
far as seat height goes.
She's a retro style girl. I mean, she's got to get something that looks old, like in that
Well,
Royal Enfield or in the Triumph style.
they make a they make like a 350. Oh, what is it? Somebody in the comments say
Shotgun
what it is.
something or
Say what?
Shotgun 350. Is that what it's called?
No, I mean, there is a shotgun. There's another. I'll think of it at 2 o'clock in the morning tonight.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
There's another bike that's a little bit smaller. It's like a 350 or 450. I mean, they make like 2 or 3 different 350s that are just kind of easy going,
I just
easy
wonder.
going kind of little bikes.
Yeah, I just wonder. Like, she's been riding around that 900 for a couple of years now. I just don't know if you step down to a 350, if you're going to be happy. Even though it's easier to manage, but
No,
she's not out drag racing or anything. But I'm sure.
I would recommend trying that Himalayan 450 then. But
Yeah,
it felt pretty peppy. The bear was great too. It's a great little bike. You know, it, I don't know. I think I said this. I might have said this the last time I was on, but I don't know if that bear has enough special purpose for me to select it over something else. But it was still a good little bike,
right.
except for the gas cap. The gas cap comes all the
Yeah,
way off. You have to bounce on the seat.
put
It's
it
the
down.
dumbest thing. It's so stupid. So stupid. Anyway, well, yeah, at EICMA also they unveiled the new Desert X, I guess Mark II prototype or whatever. So
So what's
I'm
different
really
about it?
excited about that. Pardon?
What's different about it?
Well, so it's going from the L twin. It's the old 93. My bike has a 937 cc L twin, and this one is down to like an 898, 899 cc V2. But it's the same V2 that's in a bunch of their other bikes. I don't think in Europe, I don't think they're allowed to sell the old engine in 2026 anymore for whatever, emissions reasons or whatever.
Right.
I mean, they made some nominal changes. The bike has the rally style seat. It didn't have the 2-person, so at least, and it wasn't finished. It was a preview. So the livery was like this camo,
Yeah.
obviously not the permanent thing or whatever. There
Yeah,
weren't any rearview mirrors.
right.
But the thing that I noticed the most, which I'm really excited about, is they've um, they've cut a slot in the front of the windscreen. And if you've heard me talk before, at my height, I get horrible buffeting on that bike, to the point where it's intolerable. And people are like, "Oh, just shave off 2 inches, just miter down 2 inches." I'm like, no, I'm not going to miter my thing down. I want the company to actually run the thing through a wind tunnel and
Right.
design it properly. So unfortunately, it looks like they've had to turn the display on my bike. The display is vertical and it's super cool, but it looks like they've had to turn the display horizontally, I think, to allow air to flow through that slot,
Right.
and fill the gap. But if they, man, I tell you what, if they've solved that problem, and I know, like I wrote something online about this, and like I got roasted by some dude. It's like, well, I'm 6 foot tall and I don't have any buffeting issues. Well, that's because it doesn't bother your chest when it's hitting you in the chest.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but if they've solved that problem, man, I'm upgrading like day one. Like
Yeah.
I'm 100% in.
The Tiger and the Indian both have a slot in their screen to
Yeah,
let air in. Yeah. It
yeah. Well,
does make a
it just
huge.
allows for smoother flow, laminar flow. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but super
Because
cool.
it can get stagnant on that Indian because when I have the screen, it's weird. Like when you have it down, then the slot is not visible, right? So all the air I'm getting is above it. But then if I get on the highway, then I get buffeting on my head. So I have to put it up. But when I put it up, that's when you get the slot comes available. So I guess they got to figure it out.
I'm not I can't lie. I am not. I mean, I ride naked bikes all the time. I think I don't need a screen that bad, to be honest with you. But it's on there and
I
looks
thought
dumb
that
without it. So
the last time, a couple of times ago, I was at Tampa Triumph just doing some test rides, and I took out a Scrambler 900, which has no screens at all. It's pure naked bike, and you know, I know it's a Scrambler 1200, so that the bike's got plenty of power or whatever. And I I came pulling down our main drag here, Dale Mabry, and I was just getting beat up in the chest with that wind, and I was like, God, I can't believe this bike doesn't have any kind of screen, not even a fly screen, nothing. It was terrible. Yeah, I was like, I'll never get a pure. I mean, maybe I would have one that's like a second bike or something, but yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I just do too much long distance riding or whatever. So
You got the Indian for it. You got the Indian for it.
yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. So getting back to London. So what all were you doing out there with the bike shed?
Well, I mean, it all kind of worked out. So through some amazing friends, I got the connection through them to come out to BSB, and I got to go. So I actually I got to go to the race, and my pass let me go into the Bennett's paddock. They actually Bennett's. If you have the pass, you actually are in a paddock, and you can watch right there, and you can watch the racers come by right there. In the winner's circle and all that kind of stuff. The winner's podium. I actually got super lucky and got a victor's hat, a victor's cap here, a Pirelli victor's cap,
Oh,
which
nice.
is like a prized possession or whatever. Thank you to those folks that got that for me, and I can't wait to put that video content out. But so doing that, it made sense to go back to London also, and I got to film a little bit with Dutch, and we shot a couple videos, and I saw some friends, and then also I got a chance to the bike shed just launched what they call their new riders or young riders membership level. So
Right.
for in England, it's all you have to take two different tests to be able to ride large bikes, and at first it's only smaller bikes, and so they've opened up another membership level, which is obviously certainly cheaper for younger members, and so um, I got to kind of partner with one of their brand ambassadors, who's a uh, uh, Instagram and influencer. Her name's Ride with Poppy. Super cool. Hi, Poppy.
Yeah,
If
I
you're watching
saw
this,
the video she put out.
yeah, she's great. And so I got to meet with her a little bit, and she kind of cameoed on some more content that I shot. But I also got the opportunity. So I actually Action Motorcycles actually has sponsored two of those memberships. So they're going to kind of be giving away like scholarships for a year um, for some of those young members. So I'm excited about that, because my whole deal with doing the YouTube channel and doing all this is just I want to contribute to the community. I want to add value to the community in any way I can. And it seems like the way I've been doing that is bringing corners of the culture together and highlighting them a little bit. And if there's an opportunity to make some connections in ways that weren't there before, I'm all for it. So super fun. I had some good food while I was out there. Obviously,
Yeah.
howdy to Dutch and all the folks that were so accommodating when I was at the shed. I got to meet a lot more of the team. Um, I actually flew my drone a little bit, even though I probably shouldn't have. So that was fun. So excited to show all that video too.
Yeah, as long as you get it up and down pretty quickly, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So, but it was a good time, and already made some connections. Met a gal who makes these fantastic handmade leather motorcycle jackets. Well, I think they're just leather jackets, but she could certainly make them for motorcycle jackets.
Right.
Um, Called Rugged West is the name of the company. They're awesome. So really cool, high value, high connection visit. Looking forward to going back again here sometime next year.
Yeah. And so I follow the bike shed on Instagram, and you had kind of said something to me on your way back, and then I saw it the next day. You missed Jason Momoa by one day.
Yeah. I guess he was doing a tour of London to introduce his new his new spirits or beverages. That so
Yeah.
I guess he was in the shed, which super cool. But it would have been nice to be there at the same time.
Yeah, it looked like
But
he was there, like, as a bartender or something, like, he was doing a bunch of stuff in there.
well, I mean, I think they went to a number of different bars in like
Yeah,
a 3 or 4 day period. So I bet he got pretty good at making that drink, whatever it was.
yeah, I bet he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of other celebrities, you got a picture with Charlie Borman.
I did. I got super lucky. I wish I'd gotten to spend a little more time with him. Obviously he's heavily involved in the bike shed too. Um, but uh, I had the chance with those passes. I had a chance to walk the grid before the start of the British Superbike race, which was like I mean mind blowing in itself. And I'm walking around and I turn around and lo and behold, there's Charlie just walking right up. And so I was just like, "Hey, buddy, come here. Hey, we got some pictures real quick," which is super cool. So
How long
very
did
very 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 nice gentleman.
how long did you talk about me when you met him?
Only we didn't have a lot of time, 15-20 minutes tops.
Cool, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had him
Yeah.
call you in on the phone and get a little.
Yeah, we're not quite that close buddies yet, but if I mean, heck, if I keep going back to London soon enough, hopefully, but we'll see.
Really?
I've got some I've got some plans. I got to meet the more of the team at the bike shed. I've got some tentative plans to go ride with them next year, and my dad and I are working on plans to go to another biker B&B ride next year as well. So it's gonna be an action packed year next year. I'm excited. It's just got a
Yeah.
lot to coordinate here going into the holidays.
Yeah, yeah. Time just goes too fast. Like, there's like all these events coming up that I want to do,
Yeah.
and it's just like, I don't know.
Well, we've got the MotoGP race in March, which is right
Yeah.
at my birthday, at the end of March in Austin, and then if we want to go do the ride we're looking at, that's looking at like May for riding with Biker B&B. Then my family's doing a trip, some family vacation kind of stuff over the summer, and then if I mean, it's just
Yeah, next
stacking up one after the other.
2 years, and then it's the next year. Yeah.
Yeah. I am excited because in a couple weeks we're doing Disney in a couple weeks, and I'm going to pop over to LA and do the LA bike shed for a day. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
gonna be fun.
That's gonna be cool. So you haven't been to that one yet?
I have not.
Yeah, I
That's
have
gonna be
some
my
friends
first
who
time.
do it. Yeah, but I'll be excited to get your take on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm trying to get time to ride over to Sanford and check out that new the new what you call it, Ace
Ace.
Cafe. Yeah.
Yeah, for
My
sure.
buddy he lives a lot closer to it. This one guy I ride with, and he went over there and he took a bunch of video, and it looks really cool. Like better than the old one. I say
Yeah.
the old one in Orlando. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, the Ace Cafe was good. It was kind of definitely kind of like I wouldn't call it like I feel like in the US it's much more of like a destination.
Yeah.
Um, in London it was much more. It felt like historic, and I kind of checked the box.
But more like just a restaurant, really not.
Yeah, I mean, now to be fair, it wasn't like on a bike night or whatever, so I'm sure if I owned a Bonneville, I'm sure I'd be over there all the time, or if I was in London, how do you not? Um, but it was. I'll say that for the bike show is much more of a, hey, let's go hang out. And if you want to hang out at lunchtime, then do lunchtime. If you want to hang out at midnight, you can do midnight or whatever. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get over there.
yeah, man, let's go.
I'm gonna tag along. Put me in your luggage.
You're invited.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I definitely want to do it. Like you said, it's just we're going to Europe and in December, the whole family, and we're doing like the Norway and Sweden and Denmark,
It's
and
awesome, man.
heading up to the Arctic Circle. So we'll actually be in the Arctic Circle on Christmas Day. So
That's amazing.
no sunlight, 6 hours of blue light, they call it, where the sun doesn't come
That's
up over the
wow.
horizon. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting, because we're normally home for Christmas. We usually host Christmas Eve here, so this would be like the first time we've been traveling. I think maybe like when the kids were, you know, 10, 15 years old, we did like a Christmas trip. But other than that, we're always home. So it's been a
That's
while.
cool.
Yeah.
And
So
you got your kids are grown now, so it's time to start doing stuff fun.
yeah, no, I mean they've been all over the world. So that compared to me at their age, I you know I'd barely gone to North Carolina. You know what I mean? Like they've been to Japan and Europe and Germany and Spain and everywhere you can think of. So
What was that when I had my first daughter? Somebody sent me a note like saying, "Yeah, um, I'm going to take my daughter all over the world. So when your dusty butt invites her to Panama City, she's not impressed."
right,
Like, like, we gotta raise them right. So you're doing it right.
yeah, that's the plan. So got any pop culture recommendations?
Yeah, man. So something, I was into comics and stuff, and all the Marvel movies are super cool. Something that is like blasting my feed all the time now. Apparently, it's a video game called Dispatch, where you're a former superhero that's got to lead like a like an agency run team of former supervillains, and
Okay,
like your job is to like dispatch the right people to fight the right crimes or whatever. Um, but the way it played out is like all like the cinematic portions are all like like once you make a choice, like you say, heck yes, you can help, or no, you're out of the team, then consequences happen, and there's all these video cinematic plays. It's like blasting my feed, and it's like I think it's really good. So
is
I'm
it?
sitting here going, well, how do you play it? Well, I don't have a PlayStation, and I guess I can put it on my laptop or whatever. But
Oh, it's
um,
on PlayStation.
yeah, apparently it's on PlayStation 5 and you can play it on PC. It's called Dispatch.
Okay,
It's super duper cool. It's all the thing I like about it the most is that it's all original characters. It's not like Batman or whatever.
right.
It's not ripping off anything. It's really really cool. So I've really enjoyed it. So I think it's not just a movie, but it feels like, to be honest with you, it feels like the game part is secondary. The other thing is it's like they're releasing levels as episodes,
Right.
a couple at a time. So I think like all the people that are playing it are like, oh, they get to the end and they're like waiting for the next part to come out, which is kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, I'll
And
have to
who
look it
knows? I'm
up.
not into video games anymore, so that
Yeah, I
could be
wonder.
how a bunch of games work now. But
Yeah,
seems
yeah,
cool to me.
I wonder who the developer is because I listen to a couple gaming podcasts still, and not as many as I used to, but um, I haven't really. If I heard about it, I didn't put two and two together because I'm
It's
not
called
familiar.
Dispatch. It's really cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I gotta say, it's as far as a new version or a new kind of style in the genre, it's pretty interesting.
yeah. Actually, I've been playing a lot, but I have been playing Ghost of Yote, which is a sequel to Ghosts of Tsushima, which is like PlayStation only. Like
Is that like feudal Japan
yeah,
samurai stuff?
yeah, it's really good. It's beautiful,
Super
and
cool.
I love the original one. So let's see.
Cool.
Yeah. Ghost of Yotei is the sequel, and it takes place like 50 or 80 years later, so it's not the same characters at all. It's a different story.
Right, right, right.
But
Cool, man.
yeah, as far as like pop culture recommendations for me, I actually like gearing up for Halloween last week, I decided to give Mary Shelley's Frankenstein a listen. Have you ever read that?
Oh, cool. Wow, long time ago.
Yeah, yeah. So I've never actually read it. I kind of was sort of familiar with the story behind it. Because she wrote it when she was like 18 years old. Like, put it out when she was like 19, which is banana. Especially after reading it, like just the description of the European cities. Because we're talking about 200 years ago. It wasn't like she had the internet. She couldn't go on there and look at a video of because she was from Switzerland, I think. So she wrote it from there,
Right.
but she describes like going to London and all these different places and Ireland and everything, and like with great detail. So I don't know how she got
That's
that
wild.
knowledge. Like maybe she traveled when she was younger or something. But it started off as a prank, not a prank, but like there was some kind of a pandemic or something happening, so they were kind of confined, and it was her and some of her friends, her girlfriends, and they were like, "Let's see who can write the scariest story." It was like a challenge, and she wrote Frankenstein, like banana.
She wrote Frankenstein.
Yeah, which is not at all like most of the stuff you know about Frankenstein from the movies they made back in the 30s and 40s or whatever. It's kind of all garbage they made up.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like they did the one like I don't know 15 years ago that was like accurate with what's that British actor's name? Does all the Shakespeare stuff. Anyway, he did one, and it was pretty close. But I started watching it the other day. It was kind of cheesy, but Guillermo del Toro's got a version coming out. Um,
Oh, well, I can already that you know that's gonna be good.
yeah,
That
so
can that guy can almost do no wrong.
he made it for Netflix, but it's in theaters like right now for like a limited 2 week run or whatever.
Oh,
But
okay.
it debuts tomorrow, which to me was like a missed opportunity. Like, why didn't they put it out before Halloween?
Yeah.
Like they waited till the week after Halloween. But anyways, it comes out Friday the 7th or whatever. Um, that they say it's a faithful adaptation, but then I've seen trailers and stuff. And I'm like, well, that's not in the book. That's not in the book. But I'm trying not to hold it against it because obviously the book doesn't really have a lot of action or anything in it. It's more,
Right, yeah.
he makes this thing, he shuns it, and then the thing goes off to live its own life and then comes back to get revenge on him, basically. So there's only like 3 or 4 deaths in the whole book, and they're mostly kind of off screen. You don't even see him kill anybody or hear him, whatever. Um, and he's not like an immortal killing machine like he is in most of the movies. Like he gets shot and he's really hurt for a long time or whatever. So, um, but yeah, it was really good, and like the monster and it's very smart and calculating, and teaches himself how to read and write and all this stuff. So it's completely different than you might think it is, but
Yeah, right, yeah, or whatever,
yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, he starts out
Check
that way kind of because he's like a newborn. Yeah, that's another
Right,
thing.
yeah.
In the book, they never mention electricity at all. Like he's a chemist in the book, and he's actually not a doctor either. He's only like 19 years old himself. He's like a kid, and he's become obsessed with like discovering the secret to life. He wants to figure out how to bring something to life. So he's just like goes around cutting animal body parts and people body parts and you know putting them together. And then one night it's like, oh, I succeeded. Now it's alive. He doesn't say I didn't. He didn't put a lightning rod up or any of that stuff. That's all from the movies. So, but
Gotta get that action in there to for watching movies.
that's true. That's true. Well, speaking of action and movies, I did put out a review yesterday, which I don't know when you're watching this, but it doesn't matter. But I got to see an early screening of Predator Badlands.
Cool.
Are you familiar with the Predator movies at all? Do you watch any of them?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This one, it's like it's got the chicken is like a robot or something as like
Yeah,
a companion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
How was
So
it?
it's honestly, it's amazing. It's one of the better movies I've seen all year, and like
Wow.
I freaking loved it, and I wouldn't mind seeing it again. And because it was a premiere, like a preview showing, they only had it in like the Dolby Atmos whatever. So of course it cost me $40 for us to go see it. But dude, those speakers in there and the seats were just vibrating. It was like it looked so. Before the movie, they showed a trailer for that Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
Oh yeah.
Seeing that, and then the opening of this movie, I'm just like, they need to hire this guy to do that movie because the previews for that movie looked like garbage. It looked like a TV Muppet show, which I
Well,
know.
that's what that look. The first season of The Mandalorian was awesome, and it got way too popular, way too fast, and well, we can do a whole we can do a like I absolutely love the first season of The Mandalorian when he was like on his own as a bounty hunter,
Yeah,
and I think well that season was really really good, but everything beyond that it started getting cheesier and cheesier. I mean, you love Baby Yoda, that's all great, but that's a TV character. It's a
yeah,
that whole like not live action, but what do you call it? Puppeteering or whatever. That's that Star Wars vibe, but it doesn't necessarily look real anymore. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, but this, I don't know what the budget on this movie was. I didn't look it up, but like the opening scene is him like he's on some kind of like a speeder bike thing going across like this desert landscape, and it's just it it's incredible. Like the cinematography, and then he goes in, he's having this battle with basically his brother. They're like train fighting or whatever, and
Yeah.
it was like basically lightsabers. They have these big scimitar swords with like a laser on the front of them, so that cut through just about anything. And they're going at it like they're trying to kill each other. And I'm not going to spoil what happens or whatever, but anyway, he ends up going off to this other planet to try and kill this unkillable monster so that he can, because he's basically the runt of the litter, and
Oh,
they don't respect him there, and his dad wants to kill him basically because he's like, we don't. It's kind of like the whole what's the 300 people they used to throw the weak babies off.
oh
The
yeah,
it's
the
kind of that. Like they're like, yeah, we don't.
Spartans.
Spartans, yeah, it was like this. They're kind of like Spartans. They don't coddle the weak. They just get rid of them. And so he's going to prove himself by going to this planet and killing this thing that can't be killed, that all the other predators are afraid of or whatever. But the planet is just, it's gorgeous. Everything in there, all the creatures are cool looking. I mean, there's a lot of humor in it, like surprisingly. I mean, he's the lead of the thing. Like it's a guy with I don't know if it's like rubber mask animatronic kind of thing, or if it's like a combo with
CGI.
CG, but it looks pretty realistic. He's like scaled back a little bit from the other ones from the other movies. Like
Right. They kind of had to make it where you could actually look at him for 2 hours.
yeah, because like you can't have all the some of the other ones though, like when they showed his dad's face, his things look a little more like the old. So I guess
Yeah.
maybe it's just different size ones, different species or whatever. But But yeah, there's got to be, you have to have a guy that can actually move around in a suit or whatever, not, so, but no, it's really good. And the plot of it's good. And, they kind of combine in the alien, Whalen Yutani are kind of the bad guys in it. They got all their sense on that planet. They're trying to capture that thing he's trying to kill because they want it, obviously use it for weapons or medicine or whatever, corporate greed or whatever. But, yeah, the guy that made this, Dan Trachtenberg, he also made that movie Prey that came out in 2022 on Hulu.
Yeah.
The one with the Native American girl or whatever. And that was also really cool. So I mean, this guy's got the sauce. He knows what he's doing. Like he also made they put out a cartoon animated movie a couple months back called Killer of Killers, Predator Killer of Killers. It's also on Hulu.
Oh yeah.
And it's got like 3 vignettes set across different time periods, like the Vikings,
Oh cool.
feudal Japan, and then like a World War II fighter pilot, American fighter pilot, and they all come up against predators. So basically, like
wow.
in all the Predator movies, the predator always ends up getting killed by the end, right? Like the Danny Glover kills him or
Yeah.
or whatever. And whenever you win, it looks like they respect you, But in this movie, like at the end I'm sort of spoiling it a little bit, but the cartoon at the end they show like this case full of all those people are like they've gone back and captured them, and now they use them. They put them in the arena to do battles or whatever.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so like the good thing about a cartoon is you can have a young Arnold Schwarzenegger, you could have a young Danny Glover, you could have a young
Right. Yeah.
Right. So they basically freeze them because they're from all different time periods or whatever, and they've got them there, and they're in like they have this big battle arena, and they throw them in there, and they make them fight each other, and they can fight all these monsters, and yeah, so
That's
it's
wild.
yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. It was okay. The Japan the Japan segment was my favorite because it starts off and it's about these 2 young brothers. They're like rivals, and then the one refuses to like attack the other one, so he ends up going off, and then they come back, and he's sneaking into the palace to try to find his brother to prove he's better or whatever, and then that's when the predator shows up. So they have to work together to fight the predator. So
That's wild.
that one's good. The fighter pilot one's kind of cheesy, because it's all aerial combat with he's in a World War II.
Oh right.
Fighting a spaceship. I'm like, okay, like,
How's this not over in 3 seconds?
yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm the way this movie ended too. Like it had an ending that I was like, oh, you could almost see it going in a completely different direction, like a different kind of movie. Like the character changed, you know what I mean, in a way that
Oh yeah.
You could do something. I don't know. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it's really good. So
Okay.
it comes out technically comes out tomorrow. So I definitely recommend you go see that.
Cool, man. Yeah, we'll have to check it
Yeah.
out.
Like action movies and like I said, it's full of humor and it's got some the characters actually got some character growth, which is surprising, you know. So
Yeah, for monsters or
for
whatever.
movie starring a guy with a big rubber face on, you know, like because the only human characters are all robots, you know.
Right, right,
there's
right.
not even a single human in the entire movie. Like there's
That's
even the
crazy.
robots when they're talking to the control, they're just looking at a screen and just like they're just getting their instructions from a screen, so you don't even see a human there. So
That's crazy.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's pretty ballsy. Like, and there's a way you can watch the Prey movie, I think, with the Indian dialogue
Oh,
instead of like the English version or whatever. They have it with Apache or whatever the language you're supposed to be speaking in that. But
that's cool.
yeah, the trappers they go up against, they're French, so they're speaking French, and then the Indians are speaking Apache or Comanche or whatever it's supposed to be. And then
Right, so there's no English in that or whatever.
yeah, yeah, I think I mean, they have an English track also, but you can do it if you want to just have subtitles. Because in this movie, the robot's speaking English, but he's still speaking in his Predator gobbledygook, you know, like so. Anyway,
Good deal. We'll have to check it out.
yeah, I definitely recommend checking that out. If you haven't read it yet, go read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I know not you, but people listening. Check out Guillermo del Toro's version. I'll probably talk about it on the next episode. Maybe see if it's any good or not. How it compares. How much license he took with it. I mean, he's supposedly a big fan, and he wanted to honor. He wanted to honor
Yeah, well,
her. So
that's he's got the right attitude for it. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, they've gone big, and he's into that like the gothic stylings. Like a lot of his movies have that
yeah,
gothic look. So I don't know, we'll see how that turns out. But so
absolutely.
all right, well, I think we made it to the end of another episode. I do have a meetup coming on December 13th with my friends Jennifer and Butch. We're doing a St. Pete Moto meetup at a pub. I'll get more details on that. I might have them on, do a little segment later. Um,
Very cool.
yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'll let me
I've
co-host.
got a quick thing to drop. I am one of the very few that have a 10% off code for Dynamoto, the best motorcycle stands in the market. They're doing a Black Friday sale all the month of November. So we'll link to that here as well. But 10% off is not a small number for those.
Yeah,
So
no, we
that's a big
priced them.
deal.
They're well made and
Super worth it.
yeah, they look really cool. I know you've got one, right?
I've got two.
Yeah,
I would go crazy if I didn't have two sets of those with my garage and all the kids' bikes and all the stuff. I'd go crazy if I couldn't swing my bikes around and turn them around. So
yeah. I know. I have a hell of a time sometimes getting the good thing is the Tiger's light enough that I can back it out, get it just past the end of the Indian, and then I just
yeah.
lift it up and swing it.
Yeah, well, one nice thing for the Dynamoto stands is, when you're standing your bike up vertical, it takes up a little bit less space, so you can really, and the fact that you can slide the wheels are omnidirectional, so you can slide it. Like one of my bikes is always right up against the wall, and another one's right. So it really is a space saver,
I can get it.
lifesaver for me.
I could definitely get a third bike then.
Absolutely,
It's like I could.
3, 4, 5, get 5 of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Technically, we have a two and a half car garage, so my bikes are in the half section. They're perpendicular in the half section, but we only have one car in the garage. So I mean, if I could teach my
Yeah,
son to park a little farther over, probably put 4 or 5 more bikes.
you can tell if and then if you can get your bike standing vertical, then that's a little bit more space.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a
Definitely.
plan, buddy.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Subscribe or die, as I've been saying on the little short videos. Hey, it's
I like
working.
it.
It's working. People are doing it. They're afraid to die. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's a good podcast. This is always have a pleasure, buddy. Thank you so much.
yeah. So go ride a motorcycle.
And keep looking for action.